Hi, everybody, welcome. I look out and I see a lot of beautiful faces. We're getting close to lunch, so I know we're running up on that. So my name is Rachel Levine, and I am the Associate Dean for Faculty Educational Development. And what that means is that within the Office of Faculty, we value all of our faculty, whether you're doing research, clinical work, or educational work, and it is my job to support those who wish to focus some of their effort on educational work, whatever that might be within education. So I'm also professor in the Department of Medicine, and my clinical role is a general internist. I came to Hopkins in 2001 to do a fellowship in general internal medicine focused on medical education. And at that time, there were really not a lot of paths to focus on medical education. And now fast forward in 2023, we have medical school paths, we have residency pathways in medical education, we have a plethora of fellowships across specialties and departments that focus specifically on developing as medical educators, and we have many masters in medical education. And it just goes to show you that this is really developing as a discipline, medical education in and of itself, and to show you how much the institution values that. It's my job to support educators and to advocate for education. And so I want to just tell you a little bit about how important education is here, who are our learners, what is our educational structure, what do educators do at Hopkins, what does that look like, and what are the supports for educators. I'm going to tell you what we do in the Office of Faculty Development. You've already heard about the Institute for Excellence in Education, with whom I partner quite a bit. And we're going to talk about how we recognize and value educators. So before I move on, I'm just curious to know who anticipates that a good part of their effort will be working with learners, so teaching learners. Yeah, wonderful. So everyone, so you all kind of recognize how important this is to our mission. And I'll just remind you that it is part of our mission. It is in the forefront, medical education and educating a really diverse group of learners. Here are some, settings in which you might be educating and teaching and role modeling and guiding the next generation of scientists and physicians and interprofessional clinicians. So I just want to give you kind of a little bit of a heads up and walk through, who our learners are. So overall, we have over 4,000 learners here in the School of Medicine. We have medical students and graduate students, biomedical education graduate students. We have residency programs. We have about 2,400 trainees, and we're continuing to grow our programs in this area. We also have many trainees who are advanced practice providers or interprofessional educators. We also continue to educate ourselves through the continuing medical education. So most of these are all directed, these programs, these learners, through the Office of the Vice Dean for Education. So I'll just introduce you. You heard Dr. Ziegelstein's name earlier, but within the Vice Dean for Education are the offices of Medical Student Curriculum, the Graduate Biomedical Education, Graduate Medical Education, Continuing Medical Education, Online Education, Assessment and Evaluation, and the Institute for Excellence in Education is directed by the Office for the Vice Dean for Education. So they're really focused on the learners and the programs. But here we're talking about faculty, we're talking about supporting our faculty, helping our faculty, valuing our faculty. And so within the Office of Faculty, within the Office of the Faculty Development, my role is, as the Associate Dean for Faculty Educational Development, is to provide programming so that faculty who are engaged in educational roles can develop the skills that they need to be successful, and also to support and advocate for the academic advancement and also the well-being of educators. You will all have lots of competing demands as you make your way through your faculty positions, and sometimes, education or teaching might seem like additional work. It might feel like it's taking time away from other important activities, and I want to make sure that you see the value of teaching and education, that you feel confident in your teaching skills, and that it really brings joy to you in your work. So in my role, which again, my motto is advocate for educators, so that's you in whatever your educator role is. I partner with various other entities across our institution. I want you to know that Johns Hopkins is really a national leader in faculty development for educators and teaching skills. And so I partner again with the Institute for Excellence in Education. You met Dr. Joe Cofrancesco. I partner with the Johns Hopkins Faculty Development Programs at Bayview. They've been around for over 35 years. We've trained hundreds and hundreds of faculty to be master educators, and we're really proud of that. I also partner with the Office of the Vice Dean for Education, individual departments and divisions, and with the Academy at Johns Hopkins, which is our fantastic program that supports faculty who have retired or moved on to part-time work but want to continue to contribute to the mission through teaching and education. Joe spoke very briefly about some work that we have done together, which is really about acknowledging and rewarding educators. So we spent a lot of time thinking about, with a fantastic diverse committee of educators across the institution, thinking about what is the work that educators do here at Hopkins. And we identified 6 core domains. These will all resonate with you because you're probably engaged in much of this work on a daily basis. And within each of these domains, we actually identified specific competencies. So what are the skills, the attitudes, and behaviors that one needs to be an outstanding mentor, coach, advisor, or someone who develops curriculum and evaluates programs. So we've identified all that, both for the purpose of creating the right programs to support our faculty to develop skills in this area, but also so that we can recognize and reward you. This is just a quick shot of all of the different programs that are available to help you all develop your skills as educators, and they align with those 6 domains. So within each of those domains, we have some type of programming, from a half-day workshop to maybe a 2-day program to a year-long program to develop as master educators. You heard about emails that come out. We also send an email every month that says support for faculty educators, where you will see all of the upcoming activities, workshops, skills building that you can engage in to develop. Another really, really important thing that we're doing is we want to remind everyone how important education is to our mission, how important you are as teachers and mentors and curriculum developers and working, on the front line, teaching our learners in clinical settings or in the lab, wherever it is that you're interacting with learners. And so we want to recognize that through our internal awards. So please be aware of those. But also through advancement and promotion, and helping our promotions committees to see what it is that you do as educators and the impact of that work and how that really helps to help Johns Hopkins shine because of the work that we're doing to create the next generation of scientists and physicians, and your input into that. So you have heard, and you'll hear in a moment, a bit more about promotion. We have 2 promotion tracks. There is a traditional scholarship track, and within the track, there's a focus on education and educator path. And one of the things that I'm working really hard on is to help our promotions committees really understand what it is that educators do, try to translate for them what is impact in that area. We also have a clinical excellence promotions track where education is an important piece of that as well. Just so you know some of the things that are available to you if you're interested in developing your skills as an educator or understanding how you can highlight what you're doing as an educator as you begin to move towards promotion. I'm happy to meet with you. That's part of my job, to do career advising for educators. And then please keep an eye out for understanding what the Educator Competencies and Metrics Committee is all about. And this image just shows you some of the incredible innovations at Johns Hopkins, which, really from the creation of the medical school all the way up to the present day. But what I think is most important is you can have you can have the most incredible simulation center, or you can have great curricula, but without faculty who are trained to be outstanding teachers and educators, those things cannot be successful. And so that is all of you, and it is my hope that you will engage in the educational mission. Please know that I am available for any questions or just to help you understand and navigate what's available for you. If you have an interest in education to develop, I'm going to end with probably a less well-known quote from William Osler, but one that I think is really lovely if you really have a sort of a professional identity as an educator, and that's, "No bubble is so iridescent or floats longer than that blown by the successful teacher." And I'm sure all of you can think back in your career development, a teacher who's had that impact on you. Thank you so much. Please email me anytime with questions.